Hi, thank you all for coming, and thank you, Adam, for this opportunity to be here. I feel a bit like a rock star because usually there's a 40 minutes and the last one. No, really great talks, and it's really good to watch them all. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about refactoring, and one of the things that always puzzles me is how much is enough. First of all, I want to talk about me. So at the moment, I'm a full stack developer working at eBay, and I also have a blog that's usually a bit therapy to me because I talk a lot and people usually don't listen, so I rap, right? And let's go in to refactoring. Martin found find that term on the book that we saw today already, and one of the things he said is change code without changing behavior. That's really sometimes very tricky, but one of the things he also mentioned is you should not refactor at the same time you change behavior. You should always do one thing at a time, because we all developers, we know that usually it goes wrong. You should do little baby steps. Okay, so we have both extremes for when we refactor. We have nothing, and then we have all. So on the zero, we have the nail another hammer another nail. That's pretty much it. And a few more ifs on the code, and that's pretty much it. And on the other end, we have to rewrite the whole thing. The most curious thing about this is this was a common practice many years ago. Because no refactoring led into rewriting the whole thing. Probably you all remember that we had Windows had this great thing that each couple of years or 3 years you would launch a new version. And the funny thing is, when there was stable enough, the last version of Windows, the new version, we had to wait a year to be stable because it was full of bugs. So that's one of the things about rewriting the whole thing. That's one of the things I also write about my blog, rewriting the whole thing. It's a very nice software development approach that it still happens today. Okay, so let's talk about productivity. We all know if we don't refactor nothing, after a while, we start slowing down. Although the software development is a very tricky thing because we think we're going really fast, and on the end we start going slower, and realize, oops. And one of the bad things is you get other people used to going really fast, and suddenly, why are you working so slow? What the hell happened? And that's very tricky. And then on the other hand, the all, as we don't go nowhere. I worked with a guy, he spent, sorry, this was not supposed to happen. I remember working with a guy, he spent 2 years working on the framework. No one ever saw it. No one ever worked with it. But in his own words, it was perfect. I believe so. But no one ever used it. And our software developers probably all feel that is, if you don't see no one using it, no one happy, if you don't see any use of your work, it's not about just the money, it's about purpose. So if you try to be perfect, you just, and it happened to me long ago, not presently. But what happens is we never finish nothing. There's always something that's missing because it's not completely working. And, well, we're just like that. And there's days and weeks and months sometimes, and we don't have nothing because we keep on redoing things and losing our time. And about people, this on the zero side, after a while, we start getting very upset with the software, and we just want to, well, throw the computer out of the window. And on the other side, if we refactor too much, we have very angry us. Yeah, because we don't get anything out of the door. So, how much is enough? The first thing I have to say is, if you want to come here for recipes, I don't have. Because that software, you know, it's all about, it's very opinion based, because if for one person it's good, the other person it's bad. What is clean code? very, very generic. So I don't have recipes. Let's focus more on concrete things that I can talk about. So when we were working, we have a scale, and we put certain things on our mind, and we think about nothing and all. And when you start piling up and seeing how things are, this scale starts going to one way to the other. And the more it goes to one side to the other, we determine how much refactoring we are. So let's start talking about the weights that we have. First of all, it's the scope smells. It was also defined the refactoring book from Marcus Pollard. Scope smells is like wrong method, lazy class, all of those things. This way, if you look at it, the code smell can only go and help make people refactor more, because the code smell is something that's an anti-pattern. It should not be there because it's not easy to develop, it's not easy to change. And it's also depending on the place we work in, because some parts are nice, and other parts are not that much. And this is one of the things that starts thinking things. Should we refactor or should we not? The other thing is us. And it's kind of weird putting this. And one of the things you have to realize is our knowledge is very important. And the more knowledge we have, the more comfortable we are. And also this knowledge is very important is how much do we know from the code? How much do we know from the business logic? And how much we know about the technologies we're working on. But one of the funny things is, you might say that understanding of the code is the same thing as business logic, but it's not. This division is very, very well seen on legacy systems. There are developers that know a lot about the code. They understand a lot about the mess, but they don't understand nothing about the business logic. They don't understand the reasons behind that. So in our legacy systems, this is very, very easy to separate and see what happens. The last thing is also technologies, because if you start a new company, and like in my case, I've been working in Java for 20 years, I get to a new company. Well, I know a lot of Java, but I don't know nothing about the code. I don't know nothing about the business. The third weight is scope. This is something that usually we don't realize, but the scope of our team, our code ownership at the team is very important. And this is one of the things that happen on microservices. Microservices is wonderful, but one of the things that you don't realize is once we have dispersed services, dispersed teams, it's really hard for you to change an API call. It's really, really hard. And that's one of the big challenges of microservices. And it brings out the lack of communication. Because when a company has lack of communication, you're heading for really bad problem. So this realizing is we cannot rewrite the whole thing sometimes because we have limits. And the last thing is the most grayish thing is culture. And this is about the team where we're working, the company we're working on. I remember many years ago, I met a guy that he was a single developer of a company. That's something impossible today. If you want to have a product that we're able to do money with it, we cannot have a single product, a single developer working. So we have to work in a team, and we have to work with other teams. And what I learned with time is we cannot always be fighting with others because that's not about teamwork or anything. That's being good. So what happens is the culture, the way people face refactoring, also the management is really important because usually non-developers don't understand why. Why do you have to rewrite the whole thing? I don't know. It's almost like we're building a house and suddenly we break down the wall and build it again and say, well, you're crazy. Get out of my house. Don't build it anymore. But in software, that's what we do all the time. It's very hard to understand why if it was okay, why did you change it? Okay, this is the things that shape our decisions. And the only thing I have to say that's more according to this is the rule of thumb. It's refactor as if there is no tomorrow. And this is very good because there's a very thin line between what is refactoring, over refactoring, or not refactoring too much. And sometimes it happens, people just rewrite the whole thing. And now I'm going to do this, I'm going to start refactoring everything, and sometimes we lose ourselves. And this, as if it's no tomorrow, it's about, first of all, don't think at the features that come on the future. You don't guess. You never guess. It's, trust me, I've been long years on this, and I always get it wrong. Always get it wrong. And also, this is another thing is, sometimes you think, I have to handle this. I have to handle this. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, sometimes you have deadlines, but also think is, no, this code is coming out. There's no tomorrow. I'm going to release today. So I'm going to think, how should the code be now? And so that I can feel that it's a good code. And that's pretty much my presentation. I hope you all like.